Are you ready? Ready to understand more about cash flow? Is cash flow an issue? Do you want to know how you can retire and be, and well, I would say, and remain retired if that's what you want to do? If you want to go back to work, yes. But if you don't want to, how can you remain retired? And how can you get that cash flow up with all the ills that are going on economically? We're going to find out from our special guest tonight. We're going to get into it and we'll be right back in just a second. Well, we are back, and I hope you grabbed your pens, pencils, paper, notebooks, and I hope you call a friend because tonight on this message, this is going to really hit a lot of us. So when you watch the replay, listen to the replay, please make sure that you ask your questions, call a friend, and we're going to bring on our special guest, who is Ms. Rita Oliver. And in our show notes, you will see that she comes locked and loaded with all the credentials personally, as well as being credentialed to do what she does as the money strategist. So we're going to bring her on without further ado to our stage. Welcome, Miss Rita Oliver.
Hello, Ayanna. It's so good to see you, and thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. I love telling the story on how we met because we had some hashtags in common about the money strategist, and that was how we connected. And you know, it's just wonderful when you meet people and you just flow and talk. And I tell you, we scheduled a meeting and probably talked for about 2 hours. It was just like about like kindred spirits, if you could say, on that message of getting the money out here, the money message out to the people, and then taking what vantage point we want to look and what stance we want to put things in place to help people get to where they need to be. So of course, you know that I do the insurance side of things and show people how to secure and protect their future through insurance. But you know, you also need disposable income and need to allocate your funding to do that effectively, because there's so many different ways, even in life insurance, that you can build your money. It's not just putting you in the ground now. People have these buzzwords out here now about infinite banking and the whole life and the index universal life and all of that. But to get there, we sometimes need someone to coach us through to get us to that point. And then I know we have a bunch of retirees and people that I know personally that are ready to retire, getting almost there, or have just retired and they just need some tuning up. So we're going to talk tonight with Miss Rita. She's going to share with us a little bit about herself, and then just go into the problem or the problem that we sometimes have. It's cash flow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Ayanna, so much again for having me. Love your show. Hey, everyone. I'm Rita Oliver. I am the money strategist, CEO and founder of Strategies, Options, and Solutions. And I am a wealth management specialist, and I help public and private sector professionals to retire with money and make it last. And, you know, that is retirement is a huge problem. It's been a huge problem. And what Ayanna just said about cash flow is so important that in retirement, you know, you manage your money while you're working. You need to manage it while you're in retirement. Are you hearing an echo or anything?
No, you're good.
Okay. So I'm excited to be here tonight to share with you, talk about cash flow strategies, and particularly that with retirement. But it's really, Ayanna, all of it. Everything we do flows into what you do with insurance. The flow is into a retirement. The flow is into investments. The flow is into the different types of insurances, all of it. So that the key thing you said about cash flow, it is about the flow. And my word for 2021, and it's still universal now, is that everyone listening to us, watching us now here or on the replay, you control the flow.
Yes, we do. We do.
Yeah.
We do.
You control the flow.
Yeah, because we make what we want to make happen. If we,
Yes, ma'am.
for the most part.
For the most part, we control it. So, when we talk about cash flow, it's a simple definition. We're talking about cash. A flow is things moving this way and moving that way. That's a flow. So this is about cash flowing into your home, into the bank, and then it's going to also flow out because we have things that cost us. Okay. And so with our cash flow, the question, you have cash flow for your personal, and then you also have it for your business. But all of it still flows together because there are things that are similar for both. Definition. We're talking about cash. A flow is things moving this way. Oh, that must be the phone. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I got you. So when we talk about it with cash flow, so cash flow is essentially, like I said, your income coming in. And what you want is your cash flow can be positive or it can be negative. So positive means you have more cash coming in and it's more than your expenses. Negative means your expenses are exceeding the cash that's coming in. So when we talk about controlling the flow, talk about our planning for life, with life insurance, even with retirement. When it comes to October here, Ayanna, is National Financial Planning Month. Okay.
Okay, we just got out of we just finished with National Insurance Awareness Month, so that's a great lead in.
Yes, this is National Financial Planning Month. And a financial plan is basically a plan for your short-term and your long-term goals to help you define where you want to be and coming up with a balanced strategy aligned to those goals. But here is the key in financial planning. You got to have some money to fund it. You got to have some money. There's no other way to do this. You have to have money. So therefore, your cash flow is essential to this. Now, cash flow, we're talking about the fourth quarter here. We are in here October the 6th today. Basically, we got 86 days until January 1st, 2023. We got less than 90 days, Ayanna, and we are in a new year. So here we have 86. So let's think about it, Ayanna, what people say. Let's 86 it. So then we got 86 days. So let's 86 old habits and bad behavior. Because if you keep those, you will never change, and your cash flow will never change. Because so we got to 86 bad behavior. You got to be open to change. You got to learn new things, and you got to execute those new things. So cash flow. The way we manage our cash flow, we can call it another name, similar, is a budget. And that is about tracking the income coming in and the expenses going out. The biggest pain point, if we say it, Ayanna, about why our cash flow is a problem is because our expenses are exceeding it. That's why we have the cash flow problem.
Yes.
That's it. And you all may be saying, well, I have heard this before. And you may have heard it before. Question is, have you seen it before? Are you seeing it now? And are you doing anything about it?
Correct.
That's the question. Are you doing anything about it? So for you to go in from now in 86 days to January 1st, 2023, you got to do, Ayanna, what I call this. And I'm going to go with it now. I'm not a big card player, but you heard the term the ace in the hole.
Yes.
Okay. So to manage your cash flow or to improve it or create cash flow for yourself, and the same thing you would do whether you preparing to retire or even in retirement, okay? Because you still got to have the cash flow flowing in retirement. I am retired. I've been retired now for 7 months. You still got to have the cash flow flowing, okay? So let's go with it. The first thing in the A in ACE, and I'm going to use 2 words for each letter, okay? All right, so the A is awareness and accountability.
Love it.
Awareness and accountability. So awareness is kind of what I talked about a few seconds ago. You got to be in tune to your money and to your life, in tune to you, your money, and your life, because that's the real reality show going down 24/7. So are you aware of all of those 3 points? You, your money, and your life. How is being managed? How is not being managed? because money is revolving around you and revolving around your life. If you have money problems, you're going to have life problems. And life problems are usually money problems.
Correct.
Your awareness of, and let me go deeper, awareness of the truth about your money and your life. Not what you want people to see and think, but what is the real truth here?
Right.
Right? What's the truth? And that's the awareness. Because when you are aware of the truth and you deal with the truth and you want to change the truth, then you're going to get accountable about your truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you want to maintain it. And accountability is being responsible and being liable for your activities and your behavior and your mindset with your money. Being responsible for the money expectations, money behavior, your money story. So accountable is that I have set priorities for my household. I know the cash coming in. I know the expenses. We are decreasing expenses. Okay. That's the accountability. We're not creating anything else that's going to take us over and above what we're bringing into our household. We also have set priorities for those things for our life, for the future, to protect us, like insurance, things for retirement, like a variable annuity, or index annuity, a 401k, a IRA. We set some accountability for today and for tomorrow, having an emergency savings, money liquid for when we have something happening. So that's the ACE. That's the A, awareness and accountability. C is commitment and control.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I asked a question. I did a reel the other day. Are you interested or are you committed?
That could go a lot of ways.
Because see, if you're interested in creating your cash flow and making it better, that's just to come here to Ayanna or myself and get some drive-by information.
Mm-hmm.
And go with this and go around the surface. That's what you're doing. You're just doing that. But when you're committed means that I got to go deeper. I got to ask this question: where am I going and where am I now?
And Miss Rita, would you may I interject to ask you this question? What you're talking about, would you say it has a lot to do with the going deeper mindset?
That's correct. Mindset. Because if your mindset is that I don't want to deal with it and I don't want to talk about it, then you're not going to want to go deeper. You got to go deeper and go into how did I get here? Why did I get here to be able to change it? Not that you linger on it, but you got to know this stuff that happened over here to be able to move to the future. Because a lot of you think that getting more money is going to improve your cash flow. It's not. If the same bad behavior is over here with the small stuff, is going with the big. That's that awareness and accountability. But you got to get committed. And committed means that I want to change this. Committed means that I'm not embarrassed to change. Committed means that I'm going to answer these questions. Committed means that I got to be transparent and honest. Then it's the control. The control is that I'm going to do the priority. Control is about this. You got an unknown wallet or a known wallet, a tale of two wallets. An unknown wallet is a wallet where I am swiping and signing for my daily purchases, for gas, for groceries. I'm not talking a debit card, I'm talking a credit card. For $5.50 latte, for this and for that. I am making high debt payments. I'm putting 1 to 3% into my 401k. I don't have any life insurance at all for my family if something happens. I am barely able to pay my bills. I'm paying paycheck to paycheck. That's an unknown wallet, meaning you don't have the awareness, you don't have accountability, and you don't have any commitment, and you don't have any control. Then when we have a known wallet, that known wallet says, I know the priorities. So when income comes into the house from the stores, even if we get extra, we then know the priority of how we operate in this house, how when the cash flows in. That means that we got it assigned, but it knows every dollar is directed. We got it allocated the appropriate dollar amounts to take care of all of the stuff in our life. And then we've got it aligned with our goals of where we want to be, where we're going, where are we now. And that means that we're helping to close that gap. So that's commitment and control. That's how you're going to create additional cash flow. And the E is execution and elevation.
Mm.
The E, execution, means you got to do it. Is that you got to, the scripture, Proverbs 14:23 says, all labor there is profit, and out of chatter there's poverty. You got to stop talking about it out here and start doing something. Stop talking about it and doing it, because you have labored 20, 10, 15, 30 years into your job, to your career, or even your business. You may have gotten personal gain, you built some knowledge. But when it comes to the financial side, all that money that has come into you over those times, what have you done with it?
Yes. 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 We may not be millionaires, but we have had most professional jobs. You have millions of dollars, a few million has gone through our hands.
It's gone through our hands.
Yeah.
So what have we done with our harvest? Did we put up in the storehouse for the famine? Did we, when we didn't understand what to do, did we go back and get a plan from someone, from Ayanna or from me, to execute it, so that we had the awareness, accountability, commitment, and control, and execute that plan? That means a task in it. That means automatically assigning money to come out to pay for our insurance, that we're insured adequately for home, auto, life, everything. And that we have money for today and emergency savings. We got money executed for long-term savings. We got money executing for retirement, and that we can pay everything of the day. That's our executing our plan. And then as we've done that plan and we've moved forward, we've elevated the income, we've taken down the expenses, then now it's about elevating it to a new level. Then now we can put additional money toward all of the stuff that we have assigned, allocated, and aligned for today and for tomorrow. That's how you create cash flow in the fourth quarter and in the next year.
Absolutely.
You got to have an ace in the hole.
Got to have an ace in the hole. And sometimes that means, too, the ace in the hole is in our hands as well. Some people do certain things well. That's your ace in the hole, and start building up some cash there to assign. Like you said, I heard you say assign the money, to assign it to the savings account, or to assign it for saying I need to get life insurance, to assign it, say I need to do XYZ. I need to pay down this credit card. If you make something, people make candles, people do hair, people just different things that they can get some money right there in their hands. What ride sharing. People are doing ride sharing.
Selling clothes out of your closet on some of these online sites. I do it to give you cash flow.
Right.
You got to understand the big picture of your life. These 3 questions: where are you going? Where are you now? And how do I close the gap? Yes. You got to have that vision. He said, write it down. Where are you headed here? Where are you going? Where are you going? And then where are you now? That's the blueprint you're living under today. And what we're talking about is that if that blueprint is paycheck to paycheck and every month is negative, that blueprint is taking you nowhere. It's taking you nowhere. You got to change the blueprint. And the problem with that blueprint that's common is that your expenses are too much. You're not living on less than you earn. You're not living on less than you make. And you have too many variable expenses. And that is requested debt that you went out and asked for and put your name on it. Auto, credit cards, student loan, mortgages. We have to get that minimized and out of our lives. You will have all of the cash flow in the world that you want at that time.
Absolutely.
You will have it all. You will have it all. You will have it. The less people that you pay, the more money that you will have. That is how you create the strategy. So it means that you got to sit down for 86 days and look at what you can 86 up out of your budget that you don't have to have. And that particularly when it comes to that debt, because the Federal Reserve, the chairman spoke in September, they raise interest rates. They're going up in November. They're going up in December. Credit cards, 27%, that's going to 30%. You don't want to be paying anybody that kind of money. You can't even get 1% on your savings account. So why would you hand somebody 30% interest? Because see, when you paying interest, that's a penalty. When you receive it, that's a reward.
Correct.
That is what it is.
Correct.
So creating the cash flow is, I'm saying it and it's simple, but as Ayanna said, it's the mindset in it that you got to do it. You got to decide in these 86 days that you got to take a realistic, a hard look at what you are doing. because it's simple. What do I have coming in here and what do we have going out? As I said, you control the flow. You control the flow. And if you are stuck, that's when you got to get expert help. You got to get some experience. I had the problem with the cash flow because I had too many expenses. Bottom line, too many credit cards I was paying. And there is no wealth to be built with credit cards. None. Ain't none. And you can't write the interest off. Used to be able to, but you can't do it, not for years.
They stopped
So,
yeah.
It is to be used. Long time ago, you could. And it's the same thing, Ayanna, if I could switch it a little bit for business owners. Mm-hmm. You have a dual thing here in cash flow. Your revenue is coming in from the sale of your products and your services. So you can increase that cash flow with more products being sold, raising the price on products and services. But even when you get the revenue in, it still comes down to the same thing with a personal household. What are the expenses to run that business? Do you know? Business owners say they don't know, but you do know. It's the same thing. You control those expenses. Nobody. You're the gatekeeper. So what is it costing you to run that business realistically every month? What is necessary? Not that what you want, but what's necessary. What's necessary are those expenses to help you bring in more clients and revenue. That is what's necessary. Mm-hmm. That's what's necessary. And then as a business owner, all the money that you get in, the revenue is not yours. You first got to pay those expenses to operate because you got to operate the next month. You should operate it too with an emergency fund. There are things that could happen in the business. Look what happened with COVID. If you had money, you still could operate. Then you need to also have what's designated as your salary that comes here to go to your personal, which then flows just like I talked about. So business owners have two cash flows to manage because you don't own all of the revenue. And that, Ayanna, is why some businesses are failing. It's because they are getting all of that money and not paying those expenses because, number one, they really don't know what it costs to run that business every month. I know what it costs me to run this business every month because I have those things that are going to bring me clients and revenue. That's what I pay for.
Right. Whether it's whatever services you use, that paid services to broadcast things, correct. Whether it's, to
I have my Zoom to have client meetings to do my webinar. That's a necessary expense. Yep. I have my website. That's a necessary expense for me to have my website where you can buy my products and services. When people enter my coaching program, they go there to pay. Okay. That's where my books are. I have that. I have the Zoom. I have Canva to do my graphics, to do different things. I have, trying to think, what else do I have? So that's pretty much it. It's probably something else because but I know the cost is not astronomical. Right. And then I determine when I want to go to a specific training and I look through that training. I'm talking to you now, entrepreneurs. You need to really look at some of this training. Is it going to bring you that client and revenue in your business? Every conference is not a conference you need to be at.
No. And every person is not a person that you need to work with either because you have to look at their track record and That's see correct. If they are able to turn what you're trying to do into revenue. Have they done it for themselves? Correct. And put it in place. And then correct. Are they able to teach and train you how to do it or do it for you at the cost of their ticket item? Correct. And is that going to then be an investment that's going to come back up, or is it just going to be a dead duck? And you have to correct. All of that. It's going to bring something. It's going to bring a revenue.
That's correct. So I pick and choose what I attend. And is it going to help me, just what you said, bring me something more in the business? I don't just go to everything, but I go to and other thing too, you need to go to what's related to what you do. I go to what's related as a financial coach, things in the financial industry. Then I also go to things about marketing because I don't know that. But then I have access on in other areas, other groups where I can get some of that information. And I've networked with people. But there are core things for an entrepreneur that you need to run that business. And you need to know what that costs you every month. And aside from the the platform increasing their pricing, which is not much, your cost should not be going up that much. A lot of it, you're just going to many, many different things. You've got to really invest. You need to investigate before you invest.
Yes, I was going to say yes. Do the investigative, be the investigative reporter, so you can
Investigate before you invest. And that's the same thing in your personal household.
Correct.
Investigate before you invest this money. Everything you don't need. I mean, I look at it now for myself with retirement. It's stuff in here, and I've been getting rid of stuff. You know, we the storage industry is making billions of dollars off of people in this country putting stuff in storage because we got too much stuff.
That's a very lucrative business. Absolutely.
Very lucrative business. Need to see if some of it got some stock out here to buy, because it's a very lucrative business. So we and it comes down to, what do you really need to operate, and what do you really need in your life to manage your life, run your life, and that makes you happy and that you enjoy. But I can tell you for me, enjoyment and peace of mind is knowing that every day I get up, I can meet the obligations of the day and I still have my money growing. Is that I have safety, security, and stability, and my cash flow is fine to pay everything.
That's okay. That's awesome. And so right here, as we kind of close up, could you go back over your acronym again?
Oh, sure.
Okay,
Yes.
your acronym.
So the ACE is the ace in the hole. Y'all done played spades and all that. I don't know what the ace do in there, but I didn't heard enough hollering at these spades games.
Absolutely, some hollering and some almost going to blows sometimes. But anyway,
but to create your cash flow, starting 86 days to 86 stuff. So it's about awareness and accountability. That's the A. Are you aware of your income sources into your household? It could be your steady biweekly paycheck for you and your spouse. And then if you have a bonus coming, that's extra money that you never planned for. So you start establishing accountability for you all there, that when you get some extra money, that 30% of it should go into a savings, 30% of it ought to tax debt if you have any, and 30% should go into investments. Or if you need to pay your if it's enough to pay and Ayanna, you could tell me to pay an annuity premium for the year, or pay the whole life insurance premiums for the year, then that's what you do. That's your awareness and your accountability. So see, when you're aware and you got it all on automatic, when money comes to you, you're not worried about what to do. You don't have any stress about it. And anytime anything extra above and beyond comes, when you have the accountability and the priority, you know exactly what to do with it. So A is awareness and accountability, knowing your money and then being accountable for every dollar you spend. The C is commitment and control. That you commit to being accountable and commit to being aware. Commit to making the changes where you need to make the changes, and commit to cutting out what you don't need. Because then the control is the flow. That we know what's coming in here, we know what's going to go out, and we've got control on our money when our money comes in. Because money doesn't come with any instructions. You have to direct it. That's the control. And your E is execution and elevation. Execution means that you got to get a plan in there if it's not working for you now. Meaning that plan will have the tasks that you need to do. It's the overall financial plan for your life, from the savings and the budgeting, insurance, taxes, investments, retirement, estate planning, putting that in place, the task to get that done, and executing that for your life. And then elevation, as I talked about it, when you get extra money in there, elevating the amount of money that we are putting away or saving today for what we do. And do not get any more debt than you have now. That's what I'm going to leave you with. Don't go and get any more debt, okay? Because that's just more money going out and giving you a negative cash flow. You want an 86 debt up out of here.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You given multiple nuggets to chew on, and not just to chew, but do something with.
Yes, you can do something with that. You can sit down, take a sheet of paper, you and your significant other, and or by yourself, and look at this. That's becoming aware and starting to be accountable for your money. And you got to be accountable for your behavior with it. And it may not all go. You may not change it all today, change it next month, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere. That bumpy road is going to get you to better.
Absolutely. And you have to pull, sometimes you have to pull that scab off to
Yes.
to let some things clean out and
start healing. Yes.
So let the healing begin. Let the healing begin.
Yes.
Wow, this has been dynamic, and we're looking for part 2 because we know that you're going to come back, and because it's always so much.
Yeah, it is. It is.
We knew that. We said all out the gate. We're just playing. Listen,
yes,
we don't have
it is. Let me say one other thing, Ayanna, and we're gonna go out. So, and also for you all on here and listening, as Ayanna told you, and I told you, I work with you to help you plan your retirement. So in 13 days, I'm having my retirement planning boot camp. It's free, and you can go to bit.ly backslash OCT retire 22, October retire 22, OCT retire 22. And you can see it on my page. So that's going to start at 7:00. And if you and there we talk about the cash flow. I go into cash flow and getting ready for retirement and working it in retirement.
That's awesome. And can you give that what's your website that they can go directly to?
Sure. Website, and it's you come on the website, it's going to flash up there for you to register.
Right.
It's RitaOliverSOS.com.
Oh, that's easy enough.
Yeah, RitaOliverSOS.com. And when you go to the website, a pop-up will say, are you financially secure? And you can register for the October boot camp. We got to get this together with cash flow, because cash flow is impacting all of this: retirement, insurance, everything. RITA.
We typing too. Look, we typing fast, and we can't see. But we know RitaOliver.com, SOS.com.
That's it. And when you go there, you can register for the boot camp. And I'd love to see you there. Once you register, you'll get an email from Zoom, and then you get one from me with your workbook, because you have tasks during the webinar to do.
A retirement boot camp is what is needed, and all the information on how to get all of that taken care of is up there. And so let's see if I got it right this time. The retirement boot camp. Then let's see if we show it up. Is it showing up right this time? I still did this. I did still do the same thing. I still did the same thing. Don't worry about it. Everybody, RitaOliverSOS.com. Go there and sign up for the boot camp, for the retirement boot camp, because we are really appreciative that Ms. Rita had time to take out of her busy schedule to come and share. And she's the money strategist, money coach, and this is financial planning.
The financial planning month. So everybody needs a plan. It's not for the 1% incomers, high income earners. The 100% need a plan for their life.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Correct. And really tonight we just gave it to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Gave you a little bit. Which will equate to a lot. It's just gave you seeds so we can plant them and so we can grow that harvest and explode. Right. Because the last the E was elevate. I like that, because it's about we have to execute and elevate.
Yes, and particularly because once you start executing, and then once you start getting more money, and that's the elevation, cost of living raises, bonuses. Then because you've built awareness, accountability, commitment, control, and execute, you know what to do with the money.
Absolutely. You have a plan. And so if we don't have a plan, we just do what we do and still frivolously spend and put money out there any kind of way. And just really, it's almost like if we get the vision, it's like we have a bag of money, and it is then we roll the window down and the money just rolls out the window.
Right. That's right.
And I heard something from one of the elders who always talked about money. He said that money is a female, and you have to tell it what to do. And if you don't, and if you disrespect her and don't treat her right, she is not going to treat you right. So I was like, there's a lot to it, because your theme was all intertwined with that and validated every single thing that you were sharing.
Yes.
We have to assign it so that we can execute and do what we need to do so we can elevate.
The tale of two wallets, unknown wallet and a known wallet.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, there needs to be a blog or something. I don't know. You
Well,
put
maybe
that
I'll write
together.
an ebook or something here for Black
That
Friday.
would be great. I think that would be great. Look, add to your cash flow, to your products and services, and that's what I was saying earlier. We have more cash flow in our hands if we just sometimes just stop for a moment and put an ebook out there. People will buy it. It will surprise you what people will connect with, because each of us, I believe, have people assigned to us that will hear what we have to say.
I agree.
And,
I
yeah,
agree.
and
I
they will
totally
and they will
agree.
pay.
And
If we
I will say this, and those you still on here, you really have more money in your hands than you think you do.
Yeah.
You really do. You have more in your hands than you think you do. The problem is what I just said. You ain't got your ace in the hole yet.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
ain't aware, you ain't accountable, you ain't committed, you ain't controlling, you ain't executing, you ain't elevating.
See, and we have to get it all to get the ace in the hole. I love it. That's it. You might have to even do a T-shirt with that. See, I'm gonna give you some more ideas. Look, I'm not even asking for a cut. I just like to plan and strategize and help people to think about. We do have the gifts and talents that we have in our hands. And I'll say this as we close. They're for a purpose and a reason, because before there was a W-2 system, everybody was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You farmed, you sold, you made shoes.
I'm from my family's farmers.
Yeah, my great grandparents farmers, and that was how they made their money, took care of their family, and ate. So everything all was by the hands. So our hands have a bunch of gifts in it, other than the plastic sometimes that we want to swipe, and then yeah, but that's a whole different show. So make sure that you all come back next week, because it will be part 2 of how to get your cash flow up in the fourth quarter. So we thank you so much, Miss Rita, and we look forward to having you back. And as we close, any parting words, any final words?
Just that we've given you the tools here. If we haven't given you tools, we've definitely given you tips, and we've given you techniques, and we've given you a foundation to build your blueprint. So if you can put your ace in the hole, you'll be fine with your money. You will.
All right.
You can hold your ace, you'll be fine with it. You do those things that I talked about, what the ace stands for, you'll be fine.
All right. Okay. Well, there you have it. Put your ace in the hole. We have had a great time on this broadcast. This is Ayanna Smith with Money Talks. And remember, your money is always talking, even if we aren't talking about it. But I think tonight we talked about it, and it's probably saying something to us. Help us get to the right direction and put us in the right direction. And then we will make sure that we are elevating, because we have the ace in the hole. So until next time, have a great one. And make sure you like, comment, and share.